So Leetcode 511 question, gameplay analysis 1, and it comes under the easy category question. So they have provided the table activity, and they have also provided the description about it, the column name and the respective data types. For player ID, it is integer data type, device ID, it's integer, event date, it is date, and games played, it is integer. So let's see what they have provided. So they have given that player ID and event date is a primary key. So when we combine player ID and event date together, both together, it is considered as the primary key for this particular table. So this table shows the activity of players of some games. Each row is a record of a player who logged in and played a number of games, possibly 0, before logging out on some day using some device. What we need to find is, we need to write a solution to find the first login date for each player, return the result table in any order. Okay, so let us go through this example which they have provided and then analyze and write the SQL query. Okay, so the example they have provided over here is, they have provided 4 columns: player ID, device ID, event date, games played. So for the player ID 1, on the device ID 2, the particular player has played on this particular date, that is 1st of March 2016, and for the player ID 1, again they have played on 2nd of May 2016, right? So if we consider the player ID 1, so if you can clearly see that the player ID 1, they have first logged in on 1st of March 2016. So for player ID 1, we need to return this date. All right, for second player, they have logged in only once, so this will be the first login date. And for coming for the player ID 3, with the device ID 1, they have logged in on this particular date, and again the player ID 3 has logged in with device ID 4 on this particular date. So if we see, and if we clearly, we can see that on this particular date, the player ID 3 have first logged in. So we need to return for the player ID 1, this is the first login, and for player ID 2, this is the first login, and for player ID 3, this is the first login, right? So let us see the output, that is the same that we are expecting. So how exactly can we solve this question? So this question is very easy. What we can do is, we can group by the player ID, and then we can return the player ID along with the minimum event date. So that would be the first time that the player has logged in, and we can alias it as first login and return this output, right? So if we group by the player ID 1 1, both will be together, and if we return the minimum of the event date, this will be returned, right? So if we take this as, when player ID 2 has played only once, so this will be the first login. And for the player ID 3, if we group by the player ID, the first time the, and if we take the minimum of the event date, this will be returned as the output. So let us write the SQL query. So let us start from the table called activity. We need to group by player ID, player underscore ID, and what we need in the output table, we need player underscore ID, select it, and we need the first login, right? So we can take the minimum of event underscore date, and it should be aliased, or it should be returned as first login. So we will alias it as first underscore login. So we'll run this and see whether it works or not, else we'll make the changes and we'll make it work. The code is running. Well, it works perfectly fine. For this, they have considered the same example as they have given in the description of the question, and whatever the output that we have received is the same as the expected low, so it works perfectly fine. Let us just submit it and see whether it passes all the other test cases. Yeah, so as you can see, it has passed all the test cases, and the solution that we have provided is completely or totally accepted. All right, this is the solution for this question 511 gameplay analysis. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.